Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Adult Chair on RashPixel.fm. I'm Pete Wright, and right over there, setting the tone of our day, is Michelle Chalfant.
Hello, Pete.
Hello, Michelle.
I'm setting the tone.
You're
I'm great.
setting the tone. Are you feeling good?
I am. I was just in Chicago this weekend, and
I want to hear all about it. Did you see the bean?
Yes. Well, I don't understand what the big deal is with that bean.
Well, okay, it's a photographer's dream and nightmare, and so that's why I get excited about it, because it is practically difficult to shoot and remove yourself from the picture, which is why it can also be really fun, because you'll always see a reflection of the photographer. There are very few angles that you can shoot it to actually remove yourself, so that's why I like it. But I also think it's just a really beautiful structure.
Well, I thought I liked more than the bean. Right next to the bean is that amphitheater thing. That was so cool. Beautiful. Whatever that big giant metal thing was up in the air, I guess, to reflect sound. I thought that was more impressive than the bean. But
yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. That's a beautiful area and obviously a beautiful city.
We had a great time.
What were you doing there? Was it just fun?
It was actually my son and his girlfriend and his girlfriend's mother were going, and then I got invited. So the four of us went. It was very nice.
Wait, so it's the two moms and then son and girlfriend?
Yes.
Did anybody stop and think, wow, that's a strange group of four?
Well, they were going, and I was the add-on.
You were the four. Well, there's no such thing as a fourth wheel. You got to have four wheels. But that's just a strange thing. I'm telling you, when I was, because how old's your son?
He'll be 19 next month.
I have a hard time imagining taking my mother and my wife's mother. Now I would do it. We've been married for almost 20 years, but I have a hard time imagining doing that when we were 19. Very hard time.
I know. A lot of people were like, wow, is this like, the future mother-in-law and all? And I said,
that's serious.
Maybe. You never know.
That's serious.
You never know. And I love his girlfriend. So you never know. They're a very, very good couple. They've been together a year. So we'll see.
Awesome.
I mean, they're young. Obviously, they're young. I mean, I didn't get married till I was 30, but you just never know. They're much more mature than I was when I was 18, 19. That's for sure. For sure.
Oh, how things change. Well, we're talking about we're talking about how we set the tone for our day. This apparently has come up for you in your work with your clients, and so we're going to talk all about how you do that and give folks some guidance and some resources. Before we do it, head over to theadultchair.com, learn more about this show, subscribe for free. Please sign up for the mailing list. That is the best way to be notified every time a new episode comes out, particularly if you're not really into the technology thing. You don't want to deal with podcasts and apps and things. Just go to the website, sign up, you'll get an email. Email's good. You can deal with email. And of course, you can join the conversation on Facebook or Twitter if you are app-minded and social media-minded. That's what you can do. Okay. So, Michelle, tell me how this came up.
I just realized that I've been for years seeing clients, and they would be maybe a little bit late for their appointment, or they'd come rushing in and they're stressed out about this or that. And then I would take a moment. And when I see someone that's really stressed, I'll say, let's just take a moment. Let's just breathe, or let's just ground, or let's just be mindful. I'll do something with them. And then oftentimes they'll say, how do you start your day? The majority of the time people go, well, I just don't have time to be like doing meditation and stuff like that. I'm like, but we have, if it's very important if we set the tone of the day with peace in some way, then we can access that again throughout the day. And being that this is the Adult Chair podcast, I just want to say, when we're setting the tone of the day, it's really nice to climb into the adult chair in the morning before we start the day. And then we can reaccess that chair throughout the day. We're not going to stay there all day for sure, because we get taken out of that present moment place. But it's really important that we set the tone of the day, and we get in our bodies, and we are present, and we're grounded. And I want to be able to reaccess my adult chair throughout the day. So when I start there, then I can go back to it. And when we do that, it starts to rewire the brain. So it becomes easier and easier and easier to find that adult chair, which again is that part of us where we sit in that chair when we're in the present moment, when we are living in fact and truth, when we're compassionate with ourselves, more self-loving, all of these things. So it's a peaceful chair to sit in. And we want to be there, but you got to start in the day. You got to start the day with that chair or in that place. And that's what setting the tone of the day is all about. Again, there are many ways that we can access this or set the tone of the day. We can do it with, gratitude or meditation or breath work. A lot of people do yoga in the morning or just mindfulness. I mean, just being mindful for a few minutes of the day. And again, people always say to me, I just don't have time. I'm too busy.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We've obviously been doing the show for a while now, and I have been thinking a lot more about my own habits. And then I updated my Apple Watch, and we talked about this, the breathing thing.
No.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so it has this feature where, it has since it was released, this feature where it'll tap you if you've been sitting still for too long and tell you to get up and move around. Right? So you don't atrophy in your chair, which is a good thing, right? I mean, it's a good thing. Go walk around for 1 minute. Now, with the latest update, every couple of hours, it taps you and says, breathe. Take a minute, close your eyes, and breathe. And it vibrates. It has this little taptic engine, and it vibrates as you inhale and then is still as you exhale, and vibrates as you inhale for as many breaths. You preset it. You say, I want to take, 7 breaths in this next minute. And you just close your eyes, and it walks you through it. And I have found that is a remarkable thing, and it removes the excuse of I don't have time to be mindful, because it's just tapping you and reminding you. The problem is it's not that I don't have time for it. It's that when I'm in the throes of activity, I forget that it exists. Right? And so that's what this feature does, is it says, hey, stop for a second. I know things are crazy, but you just need to stop for a second and think about where you are, think about your breath, and reset your mind. It's wonderful. And that, I think, for me, that's kind of what I'm hearing you talk about. That's the minute in the day that I re-access the adult chair.
Yes. Exactly. And it doesn't take, and a lot of people say, well, I don't have 20 minutes because that, TM is all about 20 minutes. You got to meditate for 20 minutes and twice a day, which it's phenomenal. Like, I love TM, but again, someone that doesn't meditate, that has all the thoughts coming into their brain, I can't do it. So, doing a 1 minute mindful breath, like you're talking about, doesn't it reset you? Like, it feels like you are back in your body, you're grounded again, you're recentered, and then boom, you take on the next task, whatever it is. But do you notice it's different after you do that breath, breathing?
Totally. And there, so a couple of observations. The first is that, yes, I find when I come out of it, I am immediate. It's amazing how much of a reset I can get in 60 seconds. It blows me away. Once you build the habit and you get into the rhythm, it is amazing how far you can go to just reset your balance throughout the day, from beginning to end in 60 seconds. So first, don't disregard the time, because I know, because I've been there, I know that, if you're the kind of person, say, I don't have time for 20 minutes, you might also be the kind of person to say, oh, you could never really get a benefit out of just 60 seconds. And that's ridiculous. It's totally not true. You can. But the second thing is that's so remarkable is I recognize when I am stressed, even if I'm not cognitively aware of it, I am aware that I'm starting to look forward to my next breathe session. That if I'm really stressed, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to sit down and close my eyes for a minute. And that usually has now become an indicator, like a leading indicator, that I'm not handling my space and time right now very well.
That is the best. I love hearing that. And I've had that same experience where I'm like, oh, I'm craving meditation. And I'm like shocked that I had that thought, like, whoa, because we reconnect inside of ourselves.
Yep.
We are connecting into something bigger than us. And I don't care, we can call it whatever we want, the higher mind, the higher self, God, consciousness, adult chair, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same. But when we connect to that part of who we are, it's our true self, it does change us. It's like everything just relaxes and we step into peace, even if it's just for a minute, and then we are rewiring that brain. It's amazing for us. So anyway, this is what I've done with my clients. And when they come in and they're frazzled, they're running in for a session and they're late, I'll say, okay, let's just take a moment and breathe. And even like you said, after a minute, I can tell they look physically different. And I'll say, okay, how do you feel now? It's just been a minute. They're like, whoa, that was amazing. You were just mindful for a minute, or you just did some breath work for a minute, or you grounded, or you're now in your body. And, oh, God, that feels so good. And I say to them, what would happen if you started the day like that every morning? And then they go, well, I don't have time. I don't know how to do that. I can't stop my thoughts. I can't meditate. Everyone jumps to that, I can't meditate because I can't stop my thoughts. There are many forms of meditation where you're not supposed to stop your thoughts. You're just allowing them to come up and drift by. Yeah. What we want to do is not attach to them. But guided visualizations or guided meditations are fine as well, because it's still helping us to relax. So that is what I've created. I have created a 1 minute guided, actually it's like 1 minute, 15 seconds, but a 1 minute meditation, a guided meditation. A lot of my clients asked for it. They're like, please, that would be fantastic. I have 1 minute. I'm like, great. Because even that changes us.
Yeah.
And I did another one that's about 5 minutes, and it's for loving ourselves. It's really bringing in some light. So, it's bringing in love, but also it's in the form of light, and it's a guided meditation. It's really good.
Great resources. And I, definitely take advantage of these resources. Download these things, put them on your phone. We'll put them on links to the show notes. In the show notes, we'll put links to both of those, as well as in the meditations area where you can download these and just listen to them. Just put on headphones and listen. You're already listening to the podcast, for crying out loud. You've got the headphones in your ears.
I want to add something, Pete. I read something from Deepak Chopra.
Yes.
And I loved it, because what we're doing, and it's funny when people say, I'm so stressed, I can't, I'm too stressed, I don't have the time. And when we do these mindful kind of things like meditation or breathwork or yoga, we are connecting into, again, that the real us, the true self, right? And Deepak says the real you can never get stressed. Isn't that cool?
Oh,
it's like that means like when we're in that place, there is no stress. That's why it's so funny when people say, I'm too stressed, I can't. It's like, that's exactly why you need to. And I can't remember if he or someone else said, when I hear someone say, I don't have time for 20-minute meditation, I think it was he that said that I'm going to ask you to do it twice a day, because we really need it if we say that we're too stressed. So anyway,
anytime we find ourselves resorting to hyperbole, I don't have time to plan, I don't have time for meditation, usually that means you don't have time not to do those things.
And we're completely in this adolescent share. We're existing from the ego.
Yeah.
I mean, that means the ego is in full charge saying, sorry, I don't have time to slow down to get gas in my car. It's like, what?
That's right.
You have to recharge the battery.
I don't have time to eat. I don't have time.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. It's the same kind of thing. So setting the tone of our day, really, it rewires the brain. It changes us. And then with a simple breath, we can get back there, exactly like what you're saying. It's good stuff.
I love it. I love it. So all those resources will be in the show notes. Check them out. Download these things. Listen to them. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time and attention today. And on behalf of Michelle Chalfant, I'm Pete Wright, and we'll catch you next week right here, sitting in the adult chair.